Okay, hi, welcome back to the second part of Ruins of an Empire, which is session 4, I think, of our run of Bounty of the Week for a few creds more. We'll do a quick go around the table, and if you could tell me one sentence about, just your names of your characters, who you are, pronouns, etc., and then one sentence about where you are and what your plan is to do next, basically, as a character. So if we could go in, and I can remind you, because even though I'm not keeping the notes, I can remember what happened last session. So let's do it in character keeper order. As always, I will pick on Sabine first to go.
Fine, I'm happy to go first. My name is Sabine. I use any pronouns. I am playing Quake, who uses he, him pronouns. Quake is a clone from the Clone Wars. He's pretty old by now, but still quite fit. Works as a bounty hunter with this crew right now. And what he wants to do next is, I think he got attacked by zombie stormtroopers. So I feel that he wants to react to that with maybe some kind of violence. Yeah.
Nice. And then Chet.
Hi, I'm Chet. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns. I'm playing Blocks, the BLX-8 general purpose labor droid. Blocks is roaming the galaxy for any news of his one-time master, Professor Dim's fate, and it seems perhaps that her studies into the Rakatan Empire may have something to do with why she is no longer on the map, and now is perhaps hoping for some information in this Moff's archives, this Moff that is wont to take cultural relics.
Nice. And then Anders.
Yes, I'm Anders, he, him. I'm playing Ella Bain, she, her. And for some reason, I put in the wrong name. I'll fix that. She's the expert. She's currently sneaking through a swamp to a zombie-infested place together with tags, I believe. Everything's going fine.
Nice. And speaking of which, last but not least, Rich.
I'm Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. I am playing Tags Earthburner. Probably not her real name. Twillick uses the she, her pronouns. She is sneaking into the secret entrance to the ruins of this very dark and evil place. And her plans are to get to know Hela just a little bit better and maybe flirt.
Nice. And, the last thing that we saw as the cameras, chaos erupted around the camp. Blocks, there was a huge explosion as an ATRT went up in flames, and maybe those with canny eyes would have seen the silhouette of a labor droid being flung back as it was too close to the explosion that it triggered. And as mentioned, a Imperial scout trooper that Quake had just shot appeared behind him, just as the temple shook, and what looks like Moff Arkham, but with his face twisted and these strange tattoos all across him, in the tatters of his Imperial uniform, stalked out from the temple, wielding a red lightsaber. And all around you, the jungle erupted into gunfire as the Imperial forces seemed to engage with unknown hostiles. So, I think it's appropriate to start off. Well, I think there was a wish from last session, which was the cold open of this episode is not, as the recap. That was the recap, and then the cold open is we flash back a little bit to see Tags and Hela creeping through the landmines in the swamp towards the quiet temple.
Nice. Thank you very much for granting my wish. I imagine that there were a bunch of mines that we had to orient ourselves around, and then there's probably a cave entrance type thing into the ruins. And Tags has a glow rod up, and she's moving slightly ahead of Hella. We see maybe it's like a greenish glow rod, so off of her blue Twi'lek skin, there's a cool light effect, and she glances back. Oh, what's your step here, Hella?
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, I'm curious. Why are you hunting bounties after all? It seems like you could make a lot more money just doing research. You're so smart and everything.
Research isn't not very exciting, you know? Like the action.
I mean, if I was scripting this TV show, that would have been the line where I said, I like the action.
Yes.
Boom.
Some dust falls down. Oh, Karking A, I guess we're going to get a piece of it. Where did you get that scar from?
Oh, this is Black Sun.
Oh, they like held you down and cut you or something?
Just
Sorry if I'm too personal. I'm nosy.
it's okay. It's okay. I just had a disagreement with my, I guess, supervisor. They weren't too happy that I had opinions.
They should have listened to you. Yeah.
Yes, and they should have listened to you. You know, well, and I guess maybe one last I hope the others are okay as we cut to. I think let's cut to let's cut to Quake, of course, as we just cut. I hope the others are okay, and then we cut to just literally straight close up on this scout trooper that has that charred black smeared blaster bolt effect right across its chest, its armor blown open at the back, and the helmet is just twisted at an odd angle and lunging for Quake. Quake, what do you do?
I say Dank Farrick. And I mean, I've still got my blaster rifle in my hand, right? And he's charging at me. So I feel that
you
I don't know
were
what.
bringing it up on somebody before you heard the noise behind you.
Yeah, but I think without a head, he might not be so dangerous. I don't know. Quake has not seen a lot of zombie movies or anything, but that seems, if it doesn't have a head, it is usually, there are exceptions, but usually it's a problem for most species. And this one is a stormtrooper or sting trooper, and that seems human enough to not function well without a head.
So have you kicked some ass?
Yeah, let's try that. So this is with tough. Yeah, it's a 9.
That's a 9. You exchange harm with it. I'm essentially running these guys as mobs. So you are gonna blow that one's head off, and I think its claws scrabble at your armor. Like its fingers, and it's trying to wrench the pieces off you, and that's when you shove the blaster underneath its head, right? And then and you can see. Sorry, let me just put in the number of boxes to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you've taken out part of the mob of reanimated, but you can see all around you as it clatters to the ground, you see more of the chaos across the battlefield. And what do you do next, Quake?
I think next, I assume, okay, we have a guy with dark side forces and we have undead coming at us. So I think that might be connected. So what I will do is shooting at people with a lightsaber is usually a good way to get yourself shot by your own bolts. So I'll have to drop the blaster and get out the rifle blade and see what we can do here, because maybe he's a Sith and maybe he has force powers, but he hasn't had them for a long time, and I don't know how good he is with the sword anyway. So let's just try to do that, and I will yell to Blocks, I guess, over the comms, like, try to take out that guy with the lightsaber, but be careful, might reflect the bolts back at you.
Okay, so you're going to try and pick your way through this fight and this chaos to go and take on the figure with the lightsaber. Then I think that's an appropriate time to cut over to Blocks, as you hear through the static of your disrupted comms. As you know, there's like probably you've been punched back into the soft dirt of the swamp by the explosion, right? And it's like, you know, all around the zombies poking out, but then Blocks' fist punches through the dirt and he claws himself out of this little sinkhole like a zombie himself.
Right. Yeah. Covered in a bit of mire from the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And my head swivels over, and I see this figure in. But what is the moth that is possessed? What is he dressed? Is he still in his moth uniform?
It's like he's dressed in his
Or is
moth
he-
uniform, but it's been torn away, like, you know, it's like something
Right.
like some sort of blast took it, like shredded his like torso and clothes, you know, and now there seems to be these like tattoos that are up his body and like onto his face. It's strange because the intel said that he didn't have any such markings.
Yeah. So he swivels over. He sees this figure with the lightsaber. And hearing Quake on the comms, take out this guy with the lightsaber. He's going to do exactly that. Does he still have his blaster? I remember we were talking about
You do not
something
have a
going on with
blaster.
the blaster.
You
That's
don't have
right.
a blaster
That's right.
because you were passing yourself off as a labor droid, and you used your
That's
you
right.
used your secret
Yes,
compartment
yeah.
to hide the grenades.
To hide the
Mhm.
grenades.
Well, I'm gonna.
Well, that's all right.
I'm gonna
He's a
complicate the situation a bit more as you move. As you see that red lightsaber, you know, like through the smoke and the swamp haze, and this from the explosion, you can see that Moff Arkham is stalking after a figure who is stumbling away from it, a young boy with tribal tattoos across his face, who has got his hands up.
I think that in lieu of having something to shoot, Blocks is going to try and find something to throw. He's a strong droid.
Okay. You are a strong droid. You know what? Make me a maybe an act under pressure to see if you can
Is it, or
rip
is it
up
a
just a
protect?
bit.
Yeah.
Is it a protect them? Someone maybe.
When you prevent harm to another character. Yeah, you know what? It would be.
I'm trying
yeah,
to I'm not really trying to harm the, like, there's no way I can. I just want to distract distract him away from his.
Yeah, I tell you what,
relentless march
there is like one of the legs of the ATRT that you blew up. It's smoking, like a fragment of it is smoking on the ground next to you, and you just you can throw that. So roll protect someone.
Heave it. Protect someone, protecting the boy.
Mm-hmm. Siran, as you were told by his elder.
There we go.
Oof.
I rolled a 7.
You roll a 7. You protect them, okay, but you'll suffer some or all of the harm they were going to get. So, well, you know, you throw that leg, right, and it goes straight in at Moff Arkham, and without even looking, and it freezes in midair, and he stops, and the boy like gets up and runs, you know, sprints away through the like through into the encampment, as suddenly that figure, with a mere gesture, flick of the wrist, sends that thing flying back towards you and begins running right at you behind it. And that thing is going to crunch into you, and it's going to deal 2 harm.
Oof, rough.
And that's only some of the harm that Surin was going to get.
Yeah.
Your armor does count for that.
My armor, yeah, I'm a
You're
well,
one armor, I
a
believe,
stocky droid, so
Mm.
prevented a little bit of the harmor, but the
Maybe
leg
you-
does some damage.
Maybe even catch it again, right? But it just like drives you straight back into the ground, right?
Yeah,
Like,
down to one knee.
Yeah. Let's cut across to Tags and Hela. You're on, I think, the other side of this sort of like, you know, there's a temple that's kind of like off to one side of these things, and they've come in through the south side of the thing because you were sort of catching them in a pincer movement, right? Like they were supposed to be the distraction while you moved in through the north swamps. So
That was the
they've
plan.
come from the south side, and we know now that Moff Arkham, that red lightsaber, is moving towards the south side. So I don't think that's visible to you, but you are, perhaps you do see, you know, a squad of these Imperial troopers fighting a desperate battle against their, you can see these mummified bodies that have stumbled out from the temple as well. Some of the smaller buildings around there, and they are engaged. And for every one, you can see that one of the stormtroopers that has gone down then gets back up again and grabs the leg of his companion.
Dang, Ferric, I don't want to get mixed up in that. Hella, what's causing this?
I don't know. I've never seen anything like this. This is Cart.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I hope they're okay out there.
yeah. You think we should pull out?
I mean, unless whatever's causing this is in there.
Ooh, good point. Good point. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's go then.
Okay. I was trying to cue Hella up to read a situation, but if she's not gonna, I'm gonna. I'm definitely gonna read a bad situation here.
Good.
I'm not that sharp, but I will call upon your help if I need it. So here we go. Oh, an 8, and on read a sitch, read a bad situation, 791. I can get 2 more questions. I want some help. Will you help me, please?
Sure. I think we're like watching in different directions and giving each other like short updates on what's happening. So help. How do I roll that in this? Roll for a.
You say what you're doing. You roll.
Yeah.
You roll
Yeah, I
an appropriate
think-
stat.
Yeah, like I said, I think you're looking in one direction, I'm checking the other, and just I guess, am I rolling with sharp then as well?
It sounds like it to me.
Cool. That's an 8.
That's an 8, which pushes it up 1 to 2 on a boost.
Sweet. So
Yeah, that's
I'll
the
give
sweet
you-
spot for help, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
When you
That's
push
a
it from
perfect-
7 to 9 to 10, and then you both get to share in the lack of consequences. So clearly, Tags is like, man, I can't see a thing through the smoke or the steam, and then Hela, you know, goes and then tweaks the setting on it, right, and then the binocs suddenly like cut through the haze.
Nice. Cool. I'm going to ask the first question. What's the best way to protect the victims? The victims being, I guess, these stupid stormtroopers. How do I keep them from making more zombies by dying a lot?
You notice, you remember at the start of all of this, like there was a thud and a pressure and like a single lightning bolt split from the sky and hit the temple.
Right.
So the best way to stop this must lie within the temple somewhere.
Cool. Instincts were right. Dang Ferric they were. I am going to ask the terrible question. Terrible because I fear the answer. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Any dangers you haven't noticed? I think that the danger you haven't noticed is it's probably the returning ATRT patrol that is stomping through the forest towards you. Having dealt with something out in the forest and is now coming back to see what's happening back at base.
Okay. And then I'll give Undish, if you want Hella to ask the third question, since you helped, you can ask it.
Ooh, let me have a look. What's our best way in, I guess?
Nice.
Because we need to get into the temple. So
it looks as though the most covered way and to get in without exposing yourself to that ATRT unit that's going to come across and probably lay waste to anything that's not wearing stormtrooper armor, and then realize what's happening and lay waste to a few things wearing stormtrooper armor. It's through the encampment, through like the where you can see a let me just see what I wrote down. Well, you can see like basic sort of like shelters for the troopers, lights and equipment on a grav bed truck that appears to have a mounted turret as well that's been partially dismantled to provide additional power to the excavation.
Mounted turret.
Yeah, it doesn't look as though it's in full operation at the moment, but it's through that encampment basically, and you can see. Like in Indiana Jones, how Belloc had a stupidly luxurious tent. Imagine the Star Wars version of that from Moff Arkham, basically.
Moff Arkham. I kind of hate and love him.
Yeah.
Hella, you think you can get that turret operational if we sneak over there?
oof, maybe, but
Okay, I'll start going. That's it.
Maybe, and then you pull down the binoculars and Tags is already halfway across the field, right?
Yep, totally.
Cool.
Quake.
We'll go.
We'll cut over to Quake. Quake, you're picking your way through, ducking behind crate, blaster bolts firing over your head, screams in the mist. You're going towards that red lightsaber, right?
Yeah, I'm going towards that red lightsaber.
You see that red lightsaber, you see what just happened with blocks, basically, and you see that kid go running off. He's heading like through the, he seems to be going through that encampment as well, like running his way into cover there. And as he goes, you see just like one of these sort of like, they seem to be like old, and they're not, they're from there's a mix, they're from different species, but they're like desiccated bodies that seem to have come to life in the same way as a stormtrooper and pulled themselves out of the temple. And you see a couple of them stagger off after him into the encampment. As you see Arkham suddenly disappear off into the mist towards the south even, sorry. What do you do?
I would like to follow Arkham because that's the target, and I will yell to Blocks, try to keep the kid safe if you can. I'll try to handle Arkham.
Cool. You say that on the comms as you sprint towards where you run through the battlefield, and I think this is a good attempt, good point to suddenly flash over to Blocks as you say, try to take care of the kid. I'll deal with Arkham. As Blocks shrugs off that thing, and suddenly there is this figure, and and it's like, you know, your optical sensors don't seem to be working quite right, because for a second it's like his face flickers and you're seeing a different meat bag in front of you. It must just be a glitch, right?
I've suffered a fair amount of damage. I would not be surprised if my ocular sensors are malfunctioning.
And he stands in front of you, lightsaber held, and he says, droids have no place in my empire. And he lunges at you with a lightsaber.
I of course am going to do my best to get out of the way. My reflexes are not the greatest, but
so there's two ways of
there's
going
always
about
the
this in a roll
possibility.
move. There is kick some shebs, which is you fighting back against him, or is there just running away, which will be an act under pressure, which will mean that I will on a 7 to 9, I will definitely hit you with less harm than it would be otherwise.
Is there any functional are there any functional AT-RTs around?
You just blew up the one that was around.
I just blew up one, I know I blew up one of them.
The rest of them are out on patrol.
Got it.
There is a functional, you know, funny as you say that, you hear the distinctive sounds of the heavy cannons suddenly firing much closer than they were before. There is a functioning AT-RT around. It's back that way, past
Arkham.
Past Arkham, yeah.
Well, I'm going to try and catch his lightsaber hand with my hand to prevent it from striking me.
I think that's a kick some shebs, to be perfectly honest with you. Kick some ass even.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's down at the bottom of my list.
Just for the record, guys, I would dearly love if we could abandon the naming of the names if it slows down a roll at all. Just roll 2d6 plus your stat if you know it. I know it doesn't normal time, but like I like it, but personally I'd rather have a roll quicker, just to put it out there. Anyways,
do you want some help with that?
He's done it anyways. He's done it 7 to 9.
Yeah, but it's a 7 to 9. We could push it up to 10.
An aid. Yeah, you could push it up to 10. Yes, you could do.
Over the comms, Quake, I could use a little hand here.
My way. Yeah. And I will, I think I'm on my route anyway. So I would maybe.
We know that this has got to be, right, you've caught the hand, right? And you would normally be able to stop any organic, right? And he sneers and says, "You cannot stop the hand of Raskin." And he, you know, like eyes go black, and then that's when he goes, "You appear." That's when you appear,
has any right
coming
to
up behind, right? Like in this struggle.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, he's still organic, isn't he? He just said so. And organic people, they have, I mean, they have pressure points. I don't want to kill him because they're supposed to bring him in life, but maybe I can just drop him with a well-placed knock on the head or something. He's not wearing an armor, right? He's just wearing his moth cap thingy.
He's not even wearing that anymore.
Oh, he's not even wearing that. I'm trying to bonk him on the head.
It's almost like all of his hair's fallen. It's almost like all of his hair's fallen out as well.
Huh?
It's like all of his hair has fallen out as well.
Yeah, well, I can relate to that, but right now it's not. It's not important. I just try to help blocks here by
roll plus tough.
I'm sorry. I really love naming these things.
That's fine. Hit on the head. That's
it's a 13. So, well, hey, I've
Cool.
rolled well. I've actually rolled well. Yeah.
So, with that, what would you were trying to grab it, Quakes come up, I will, which means that you kick some ass, Chet, and you get to choose an extra option from the kick some ass, as well as dealing your normal harm of 2 harm hand, which I am going to track because of, essentially I'm
Reasons.
just hand waving this as stun damage for him, because Quake specifically said that that's how they were helping, right? So
Yeah.
rather than tear him apart with this thing, you've done two stun damage to him instead. So what's your extra effect that you would like?
I think that since with Quake coming in, beaning this decrepit moth on the head, I think that he decides we're not worth his time, and the attack drives the enemy away.
Okay. That means that you, just so you're aware, you still exchange harm on a 10+, so you will still take some harm from this. Yep.
Oh yeah, and he yeah.
I just wanted to clarify the rules there, so you're
let's
making an
say I'm
informed
gonna
choice.
suffer no harm at all. I'm coming up on, my harm track's getting pretty high. Then I'll suffer no harm at all. The little bit of distraction prevents him from pushing his
Ted, I think you're on the advanced
natural
on a 12
strength.
plus thing. You're on a 10+, not on the advanced 12+. Sorry to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
Suffer
looking at the
less
wrong
harm.
list. Suffer less harm. Let's do that.
Yes. I mean, lightsabers
Thanks,
are pretty
Steve.
rough. Lightsabers are pretty rough, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, blocks. You are gonna take 3 harm, armor piercing.
Very rough. The lightsaber cuts into Blocks' armor, molten metal.
I mean, this is Star Wars, so Rich raises a very good point. Do you lose an arm?
It's true. Yeah, it seems consequential.
But I think that maybe it's holding it and and then he reaches out with the force and he just forces your hands apart and then zoom.
Yeah.
And then that's when Quake just cracks him in the back of the head and he stumbles forward and falls over. And then he's gonna roll away and sort of not stand up, but kind of he just gets pulled up by like a puppet being pulled by strings. And then he is in front of you, but
didn't Blocks catch his hand? Wasn't that what he was doing?
Well, he was catching it was stun damage effectively.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because your help someone doesn't actually convey any kind of mechanical damage. It just flavors it. So catching his hand turned into whatever, right? It would have been.
It prevented more from being cut off than just my arm.
Yeah, entirely. Prevented him from chopping your head off, let's say. And he's gonna look at Quake and say, a soldier. I need soldiers.
Well, you can't have me.
That's what they all say. Cut over to Tags and Hela, moving your way through the encampment. You're going through, and Tags is a little bit in front of Hela. Hela, as you're moving through, well, you know what? You describe to me, guys. Let's start off with Tags. What do you do first as you go through this campsite and you see past the tents and things, as I've noticed, and you can hear movement in the and running footsteps running through the things and some shambling amidst the noise of the battle outside.
I think Tags is there's ruins, right? So she's moving from broken blocks to broken blocks, ducking underneath, trying to stay clear getting messed up with a bunch of crazy whatever these things are, walkers or the past or something like that. I don't know. She's trying to make her way to that turret, and then she's just going to open up. But yeah, she realizes that like halfway through, this was a terrible idea.
Oh, so you're going to make your way up onto the turret.
That's the plan. Making it to
Okay.
the turret.
You get your way up into the turret. It is broken. It is
Right.
not got power currently supplied.
Right. And then I'm going to protect until Hela comes up to fix it, because she said she could do it.
Yeah. Well, you're
That's
on the
what I heard.
turret. And Hela, Tags is a few meters in front of you. You're running through, and you hear no, get back, coming from behind one of the things. What do you do?
Turn and look.
You can see a young boy who's backed up against the luxurious tent that you can see. And the luxurious tent has, like, you can see a climate control exchanger, a moisturizer, a dehumidifier vents, a mossy, like a robot droid, butler droid that appears to have been torn from limb. And you see this boy backing away inside the tent, pursued by a mix of reanimated stormtroopers and these desiccated bodies.
I'm going to open up on the zombies and whatever they are.
Cool. I think that's protect someone in this case.
Sounds reasonable. Yeah. Protect someone is
It's plus tough.
the best. Oh, +1. That's better than I thought. That's a 10. Nice. Go me.
That's a 10. So what extra effect do you choose?
Right.
Inflict harm on the enemy. All in pain and danger is now focused on you. You hold the enemy back. Or
Hold
you
the
don't
enemy
suffer
back.
any harm. You hold the enemy back.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't think in the context of this, because they are close range and you're using your blaster, you don't take any damage in this case. But you do, they're no longer focused on you. You blast one, right, and it stumbles away and he ducks back into the tent. Now, are you going to jump into the tent with him, so that you can hold off this choke point, or are you, because you can see that now there are more drawn to the blaster fire as you
Yeah.
blast that first
No.
one.
Come here, kid.
I can't get yeah, and then he's gonna sprint past them and he's gonna join up to you and he's gonna be like, oh, thank you, what's going on?
I don't know. Just stay close to me and I'll run over towards Tags. I think I'll grab him by the hand, since I just have my blaster pistol. I'll grab his hand and to make sure he doesn't get lost.
Cool. You now have Siren running through the things with you. Tags, you're waiting for Hela. You hear a blaster shot from back the way you came, and then you feel a hand grab your ankle, and you see like a bisected stormtrooper has pulled itself underneath the grav truck and then clawed its way up onto the bed where you're standing.
Ew. Pew, pew, pew.
Roll to kick some ass.
Sweet. That is that is a flat roll from me. Yeah, because I'm going tough. There we go. It is a 10.
A 10. What do you choose as your extra effect?
I am going to choose to. Nah, some harm sounds okay. So I think inflict terrible harm. I definitely want this thing to be dead.
Yeah, describe how you take it out and what you do. Well, I assume you're using your riot gun.
Riot gun is a stun gun, so I think it's the holdout blaster pistol. She like whips out a little teeny holdout blaster pistol and fires a couple shots. Maybe the first one bounces off the arm and the second one goes right into its eye.
Yeah. Smoking crashes down onto the thing. So that would be 2 harm dealt to the mob of reanimated. You see more of them picking their way through the and the noise of that ATRT appears to have gone silent nearby.
Ooh, really?
Okay, so more of them are coming upon you or congregating around your area. Hella jumps onto the, you hear a thud on the back of the thing, and you spin around right with your hold out blaster, and it's Hella, and you see the kid go, ah, don't shoot, and then Hella coming up behind, like firing a few shots back as like, now you are basically like the feast, for these things. They are coming towards you. I want to remind you, because I've just had a look at your thing. One of your moves is you can hotwire anything. The older it is, the fewer tools you need to do it. And
That's
you're on an
true.
old Imperial grav truck. Just so you know. That does
sounds
have
like
this
a
turret
thing.
that's not been done. But anyways, we will now cut over to Quake and Blocks. Darth Raskin says, the Empire will rise again.
Yeah, but not here, not today. Yeah.
The Jedi couldn't stop me forever. What makes you think you can?
I think I'm done talking to this guy.
Okay.
And I said, I think I'm done talking to a ghost that doesn't know that it's dead. The Jedi did keep you down. I'm not a Jedi, but you're not a Sith. You're just a moth with a ghost in its head.
Okay. What Jedi did you serve under?
Doesn't matter.
Quake.
Oh, he doesn't know. You asked me. It's Arvin.
Yes.
I'll write it in the chat, but it's Arvin Ina. She was an older educator, and she died in Order 66, and there's a lot of baggage there.
As you raise your blaster.
I don't raise my blaster. I raise my viper blade.
You raise your vibro blade. Nice. Okay.
I mean, I take position with the viper blade. It's pretty classical.
Oh well, no, I'm not gonna use his ability, because if you're using the vibro blade, then we definitely need to see a duel. Like, I'm not gonna step on that whatsoever. Cool. Okay. Over the smoking body of Blocks, who's like holding onto that sparking arm, Quake stands with the like vibro blade drawn, and Darth Raskin sneers. And let's see what happens then, shall we? Because I don't roll dice in this. Yeah.
That's right. So I think damn it, I need to get that damn Sith out there, but I can, because that has to be done in the temple. So I'll just, I'll just commend myself to the Force and go for an attack, I guess. I especially don't want to kill him. I want to I go to disarm him. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to kick his ass. I want to disarm him. I want to take away his lightsaber.
Okay, act under pressure.
And I will bottle it up, and I will add 2 to I will give you 2 things, just so I raise my chances. See how that goes. That goes well. Yeah, that was a good choice. So I'll get a 10.
Do you literally disarm him, do you think?
No, I will take the light. I will disarm.
I mean, to get that hand off you to get that lightsaber out of his hand, how are you going to do it without cutting his hand off in this thing? Like, what's the method? What's the mechanism where you use a sword to get something out of someone's hand without cutting it off?
I feel that it's possible, but if you want me to cut off his hand,
okay.
then I will.
How do you do it, Sabine?
I'm not a sword fighter. I imagine there are ways. I mean, the vibroblades can parry lightsabers. We've seen that in the Clone Wars series. So
really, we've seen that in the. I thought it was only the dark saber and stuff like that could do that.
No, I think there is stuff that you can use too. But if you say that, you know what? Let's not get bogged down. Let's just take off his hand, because that is a Star Wars thing, right? Just take off his hand and then hand. That makes it harder for him to get the lightsaber back. Anyway.
Hand spirals off and he staggers, and drops to his knees, and the lightsaber blade, the lightsaber handle, lies on the ground next to you. What do you do?
First instinct, treat that wound. Second instinct, maybe take that lightsaber out of the equation for now. I will probably, I have two hands. I will pick it up and put it somewhere where it's not immediately a danger to anybody, and I will turn it off.
You pick it up. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let me just have a quick look at the things. I should have wrote a custom move for this. Let's make one up on the fly. Roll me plus cool as you pick up the blade, and you hear the whispers and visions of tombs, ancient tombs, towering ziggurats high in the sky, lightning, forces of Mandalorians and masses of armies fighting each other. A war older even than the Clone Wars,
So, but this is not act under pressure.
This is not act under pressure.
Damn. What's an 11?
It's an 11, and I'm going to use my lovely 2-hold to knock you down to a 7 to 9.
That's fine.
As you,
I thought you would.
Yes. So on a 7 to 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was a 9. I was 2. Wait.
Well,
no, it's a 7. It's an 11. No, it's an 11. I corrected them.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't correct the bonus.
If it's a 9 or an 11, either way, we're still in the 7 territory for.
Yeah, but it was an 11, so you need to spend the tokens to get.
Oh yeah, no, I was definitely going to spend 2 anyways. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I would not have had to do it otherwise.
Sorry.
Good point.
Sorry.
I was mainly like desperate to spend them because we always end up in situations where I can't spend them and then they run out.
No, that's fine. I was expecting you to.
So on a 7 to 9, you take the lightsaber and Blocks sees, well, you know what? I get to choose one. 7 to 9 is I get to choose one thing that the spirit of Darth Raskin does.
Nice.
In your body, and what he does is you look at it, you study it, and your eyes lock on it for a second, and you hear Arkham on the ground. He's like, those tattoos have just seemed to disappear entirely from him. And he looks up and he's like, what happened? And Blocks, you see Quake go, you were weak. Zoom.
Would probably not want to have this happen, actually, because that takes a lot of agency from that character.
It does take a lot of agency. The move of the lightsaber is possession.
So can I X card this though? I don't want
this
to
okay, let's X card
because
it.
That would really make this unfun.
Okay.
In a not good
Let's
way.
X card it, and you just take the lightsaber. It's fine. You've got it. Moth Arkham's unconscious, and you've got the lightsaber. Don't worry. We'll just get rid of that roll. I will not put possession things in places where they can handle the player character, unless you've got a suggestion of something that Darth Raskin does while he's in control of your body.
I think he might just take
that's detrimental to you rather than positive to you, of course.
Yeah, I know. I think he might just I mean, attack blocks would also be very mean. and also would kill him. I don't want
It
that.
feels as though
Yeah.
possession-wise, there's very little
Mm.
that can be done with
Yeah.
with your particular thing. So we'll get rid of that possession move as a thing. I'll take it off the table entirely.
Okay.
And you've got the lightsaber, and now you've got a dead moth. But
Well,
there's
how
still
is he dead now?
not dead live moth, a stunned moth who is in critical condition.
Yeah.
Um,
You know what?
and-
Let's just X-card the whole scene, and I don't pick up the lightsaber and go and with my first instinct and treat them off.
Okay.
Is that
Cool.
is that fair?
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
Cool. I'll do that. I mean, I still might kill him. Nope, I don't kill him. Can knock it down, but I just won't kill him.
I knock it down to 7 to 9. So that is he is in critical condition. I imagine you're going to stabilize him. Yep. Yeah, you patch him up. And we cut back to Hella and Tags on the thing.
I'm going to do the move that you reminded me of and try to hotwire this truck and get us the heck out of here.
Okay. Well, you can hotwire anything. So I think it's mostly a case of acting under pressure. Oh no. Would it be? You can hotwire anything. The lower it is, the less tools you'll need. Do you think this is a used tech or a?
Feels like a used tech.
Yeah, we don't get to see used tech often, anyways, do we?
That said, I suck at using tech. So
Well, that's the thing. But you
the
can
heads up.
hotwire anything.
Yeah, exactly. I can hotwire anything with time.
Yeah, you know what? I'd be willing to just let you hotwire this thing. Like,
You sure?
without
I was
roll.
just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
like the role is, do I have enough time? But it's
yeah,
up to you.
you got it. You got it. You
Okay.
can hotwire anything. This is an old thing. It's not particularly secured. They were more worried about the gun turret on the back than the truck itself. It's an old code, but it checks out. So you've got the thing up and running as the repulsor lifts kick into action. Hella, what do you do?
I'm trying to hold off these reanimated whatever they are.
Mhm.
And I think, do I have a weapon of some kind? Well, I can have an extra weapon, I guess.
There's a gun turret that's deactivated on the back of this thing.
Yeah, I was thinking of handing something to the kid. Just take this. But he can have my blaster if I can use if there's something else for me to use.
Well, you feel free to use whatever you want to do. What is it that you want to do as the situation is painted, Hella?
Yeah, I just want to hold off the zombies while Tags is fixing up the turret.
Okay.
And I'd like the kid to help.
Then that's kick some ass, and the kid will help by throwing things off the back of the truck.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Kick some ass is tough, so I have a +1. And that's a 7. Tweaking it in.
7 to 9. You exchange harm. So you deal. You're holding them off with your blaster pistol. Some of them claw at you, dealing you 2 harm. Your armor counts for that. But it's very like Dawn of the Dead, like them crawling up the sides of the thing, and the kid like, oh god, and you like being pushed back by one, taking it out, and then that's when Tags gets the engines running. And you move forward. Now Tags, now you're flying, you're moving this thing. You see one remaining ATRT, and it has like bodies like crawling up on the legs, and you see the stormtrooper like shooting down at it, but the turret, the guns are just firing wildly now, like they're like stuck on auto fire as he fights off the zombies through the thing. So you are flying through like a full-on kind of like exploding battlefield of hordes of zombies and stormtroopers.
This story's going to get better every time I tell it. to others because I'm totally thinking this is going to be the best moment ever. So yeah, gonna angle up the speeder truck. Hold on, and she's gonna try to let any blaster bolts hit the underside of the truck as she's making her way the hell out of these ruins, getting us out.
Okay. Well, that is an action to pressure,
Yeah, that seems.
and
that
you get
seems
your
accurate.
+1 for being a pilot.
Oh, that's true. Thank you for the reminder. That means that.
Oh, and one thing that I didn't read about that is you also own 2 handy, widely available vehicles. So we need to find those for the ship as well at some point.
It's true. It's true. I definitely think she's got a speeder bike, so I'll put that in. Cool. I'm rolling with a +2 here.
Mm-hmm.
Oof! Needed both of those pluses to get me a 7.
A 7 to 9. So. Okay, 7 to 9. I'm going to give you a hard choice.
I like it.
And the hard choice is going to be, you're going to lose, you're going to damage the truck trying to get out, or you're going to drive straight through Moff Arkham's tent.
Just so I understand what I'm choosing, why would I not want to drive straight through Arkham's tent? Because I don't know what's in the tent, or because I know there's some really good stuff in the tent.
I mean, where do you think that Moff Arkham keeps all of the things that he's stolen?
Oh, that's right. Recovering the cultural
We
items.
do get a bonus. Yeah, we do get a bonus for recovery of some items.
Ooh, that is a hard choice.
But if you, if you don't do that, then you are definitely going to be like, you're going to get out of this horde of zombies to crash into something and then get stuck in another big pitched, very deadly fight.
Yes, pitch deadly fight for money. Yes, that's why we're here. Pitch deadly fights for money. That's our whole job. So the speeder truck is going to get us out, but not far.
It's going to get you out, and then you're going to catch a stray shot from that ATRT that's just going to punch straight through the engine. It's going to be like, it maybe tags is like, the kid is like, woohoo, as you fly out, and then shoot, drives a big furrow through the ground. And you guys are all going to get like thrown from the vehicle as it crashes into the dirt. And you are away from the thing, but you are all going to take a 1 harm stun, I think, in that case. Like, which if you've got armor, it doesn't matter, I suppose. But fictionally wise, you are stunned as figures drawing around you, and that ATRT is finally overwhelmed and goes down.
Nice.
So, Quake. Arkham's.
Okay.
What? He was in a glorious empire. The Empire.
Yeah, the Empire. Fine. Blocks, can you carry him? Because that's the one we need. I mean, we should get out of here. We have what we want.
Blocks. You are in critical condition.
Yes. So I have like a -1 ongoing probably from traumatic injuries to a droid, granted.
But also, I think you need something you're going to need to get out of here soon, or do something to stabilize yourself, or you may suffer full system shutdown. Which, I'll be honest, in the context of a droid going out, I would actually let you come back again at a later point. You know what I mean? Like, you could just rebuild you. The C-3PO gets ripped limb from limb and gets put back together again. So,
Right.
Yeah, but where's Hela at this point? Because I think he might need her.
Where's Hela? So perhaps even Quake says, we should get Hella to look at you. Where is
Yeah.
Hella? Crunch.
There is Hella.
Maybe
Okay.
even like the shot of Hella being pitched from the vehicle, right? Like as it crashes.
Yeah, like
Moving-
zooming in,
moving-
slow motion. Whoa!
Yeah,
There's Hella.
moving jerkily, as if my servo motors are covered in, or as if my servo motors are malfunctioning. That I'm running, have electrical systems issues, leaking lubrication fluid. Hella,
Headlights flickering all over, like, you know.
right.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I can carry him. Just get yourself.
Thank
to
you,
Hella.
Quake. I would like to help if I could, but I don't think that I
That's fine.
can.
Yeah. Well.
Hella, in fact, please. I fear that I might not make it back.
Well, we have, so you're going to push lead blocks and Quake through. No, blocks and Arkham through, right? Like you're going to be hustle Arkham, right? Like
I'll carry
dragging
him.
behind you.
I
You
just
carry
do.
him.
I do
Fireman's
just do
lift.
I mean, I'm a medic. I'm specialized in medevac, so I think I know how to carry people, so they won't. So they out of a battlefield and still be shooting with one hand. I put the vibroblade away at that point.
What we call a fireman's lift over here, with
Yeah.
over one shoulder and gun in the
right.
other hand, right? Like very,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
Rambo.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As you push your way through, you see this overturned speeder, and you know they've bought themselves a bit of breathing space, but they're surrounded, and you can see a group of them holding themselves up. I will cut over to Hella. As you know, Hella, where do you think you are in this moment of stunned? Like, what's the sort of like first moments as Hella's like?
I think she sees one of these reanimated stormtroopers like crawling towards her. Its legs are gone, but it's like reaching for her.
Mm-hmm. And it grabs at you. And you know what? It occurred to me between what I'm going to do is that your the downside of your thing is, you know, one harm, stun, whatever does that mean? Stun is going to effectively mean that your you know, the weapon that you were carrying, like at the time, is like, it's not lost, but it's not in your hands anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're going to need to do something before you can get hold of it.
That makes sense. Ooh. And were we like surrounded by these reanimated things, or is it just
they are surrounding you? Yeah, they are. As you look up, you can see that, you know, there are more of them. An undefined number that will disappear when you hit the last arm box on there, but in practice there seems to be a hell of a lot of them. Like stormtroopers are in most Star Wars fiction, right?
Yeah.
There's always more of them until you kill the last one.
Yeah. I'm going to fumble at my belt for a grenade.
Oh, cool. When you need something unusual or rare, roll plus sharp.
Yeah. So 8. I have it, but not here. It takes some time to get it.
I hate that one.
That doesn't help me at all.
No, I often look at that and I'm like, what's the point in that one? On a 7 to 9, you have it. You know what? I'm gonna change that on the fly, and we're gonna rewrite that at a later point. But I'm gonna say on a 7 to 9, you have it, but you tell me what the glitch is in this sense.
Yeah.
You know, like what's wrong with it, basically.
Yeah. Ooh.
How does it also cause problems for you in this situation?
Yeah, I think I don't actually have a grenade. I have like a limpet mine or something. So I can't just throw it. I have to stick it where it's supposed to explode.
Nice. So let's see a kick some ass, I think, there, right? As you gonna try and slap it on it and kick it away.
Yeah, I think I'm going to like slap it onto this stormtrooper that's crawling towards me and try to, like, since he's missing his legs, he's not that heavy, so I'll try to hoist him up and throw him into the horde.
Okay, go for it. That means that you're doing you know, we're going to say like explosive area, right? So this is going to deal damage to a couple of them. 3 harm. Obviously, though, the downside is that you're going to take that 3 harm as well if you don't.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the
Yeah.
zombie trooper is a grenade. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Provide.
that with 9.
There's a 9.
I think do I want help with this? How big is the difference? It's just the extra effect, right?
It would be the option to take little harm from it. I think would be the one that you're majorly looking at here, or to deal massive harm and possibly take out like a full swarm of them.
Oof. Yeah, I think I'd like tags to help me if that's possible.
Of course. I was just updating that move to have.
Oh, thank you, Rich. The way I've
So-
got it written down is you have something, but it also complicates it. How?
Oh, okay.
But I mean, we can, whatever you've written is fine. We can workshop it in between sessions, you know?
Yep, we sure can. I just wanted to get it in there so that we at
Yeah.
least had something to. So Hella was doing what? I apologize.
Slapping a limpet mine onto a half zombie trooper and then chucking him into the oncoming horde.
And I
Oh,
think
sweet.
at the moment that we've got it is that you've chucked it onto it and you're trying to kick it away, but it's just too, I haven't got the leverage, right?
Yeah. I think tags will
As that
come in
grenade
and
mine goes beep, 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 beep.
It's awesome. I think tags is still. No, she's not driving. Thrown clear. So yeah, she's totally gonna get in, and they throw the zombie together, which means I have to use
Tough plus
tough,
tough, I
which is
think.
not great.
Yeah.
Not great for me, but that's.
I'm kind of imagining this is like the tags appears out off screen to suddenly save the day kind of thing, you know, like tackle from the side.
We'll see if she saves the day. Oh, it's a 5. So we both
Well,
fail.
Yeah. So that is mark an XP, Rich.
Yeah.
You are also going to take this 3 harm as it explodes. I think you're both like wrestling with this thing, and you just like manage to like spin it around as like the first wave of this horde comes towards you. But it's then just like sends you both flying back into the wreck of the grav bed truck. So take 3 harm. Quake blocks, you're coming forward. Just as you approach, as this swarm of them, you see this struggle, and then boom, and there are still a couple more like going now towards the prone bodies of Tags and Hella, and you see that kid stand up like bleeding from the scalp, and he picks up like a broken piece of metal, and he's like standing above their bodies, you know, like.
It's very heroic of him, but okay. So, you know what? I will give my blaster rifle to Box, keep your distance, but shoot at them, I guess. And I will wait in with the heavy blaster and the vibro blade in one hand, right? Because right now I don't see any option. I don't have any clear idea how to get these zombies to stop, even though Darth thingy is out of Arkham. He's still wafting about. I don't know what to do with it.
Okay.
Let's take them out. Hit the head.
Yes. So I'm going to have this as I'm imagining this kind of as like you're wading into them, like, you know, like cutting a path through them, and we've fictionally positioned Blocks to be able to help out using the blaster rifle, like at the back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Mostly Blocks is staying put.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't hit me.
I think as the blaster rifle comes up like straight, and then there's a spark, and then just down, right, like wavers kind of thing.
I'll do my best.
I don't see that. I'm concentrating on these zombies and getting them away from Tags and Hela.
Okay.
I hope I don't have to choose.
No. Well, it's a kick some ass.
Mhm.
Pew
Oh,
slash.
come on.
Oh no.
Oh, come on.
That's a
No.
5.
Yeah. Blocks, please. Roll better than I did.
Yes. I'll cover you. As where is what should I roll for that?
Well, how do you covering? I guess it's probably plus tough, I think, and the
Covering fire, yeah.
yeah.
And -1 because I'm critical.
Mm,
Is that
yeah, that's true. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Trust me, if you ever say that you're going to take demerits to yourself, I'd be like, yes, I support this entirely.
Oh, no.
But both of you can mark XP.
Wow. Yay, I guess.
Blocks. It comes out of nowhere. Well, one of your pieces is going to break down. So what gear do you have? I think that you're gonna lose your armor. Is lost now. Is compromised.
All right.
As
Yeah.
one of these, like you are about to help Quake when something clambers onto the back of you. And it rips and wrenches like important plates that have been like twisted away off you, and now you've lost your bulwark basically. It's not like you're engaged with a zombie. It's just that was my choice rather than dealing another harm to you and killing you. Basically, was to remove a piece of gear.
Fair.
It's a hard move. Whereas Quake, of course, I mean, they only do 2 harm close, so you just are swamped by the mob, basically. Like you come in to help them, but then it's just like, dang Ferric, there's more of them grab on top of you, right? They can't quite get through the clone trooper armor.
No. Good thing to have that.
Tags. Well, you know what? Let's ask Hela, because I think Tags probably took the brunt of that blast, having come in, hauled it and then pushed it away. So Tags is more disoriented than Hela is. Hela, what do you do? As the zombie's no longer, the kid is like, and then is wide-eyed as this clone trooper suddenly wades into them, like pulling off this mob, but then being quickly swarmed underneath them.
Yeah. I think, I don't have my blast.
You can find your blaster now. Like
Yeah.
that was only from the last thing. So you probably
Okay.
actually, when you got blown back into it, you're like, oh, that's where that went as well. I literally got blown straight back to where my blaster was lying in the truck still. Like, because it's Star Wars, right? You always get coincidences like that.
Yeah, I think I'll grab my blaster and try to shoot enough of them that Quake can get out. Does that seem reasonable, or is it?
Kick some ass.
Yeah. Nine.
A 9. Well, I mean, you will take out this mob, and you will take 2 harm as it becomes a bit of a fracas melee kind of thing yourself. So you take another 2 harm. Armor counts, of course, but there is a moment of the zombies are all like immediately around you are all dead. Like there is a smoking grav bed truck next to you. I think you're clear of the fighting now on the south side of the camp, not near the minefield. Or on either side of the camp, whichever one you would like to be. Let's say if you decide that you retreating for a minefield would be a great way of keeping a bunch of zombies off your tail if you decided to leave, right? But I'm conscious we went, we started a little bit late, so I didn't feel it was too bad. But should we take a break now? As Quake feels all that gnash and then just sees Hela like gore and like black liquid mud smeared across their face, charred clothes and everything standing above, like, and we'll break there, yeah. So you've won yourself a momentary respite. You can still see movement and the sounds of the last remaining groups of stormtroopers fighting it. It doesn't appear as though whatever happened is over. What are you guys doing? Blocks is looking really bad, really bad, guys. And you can just see Moff Arkham huddled up in a fetal ball, clutching his like. So
I mean, Hela is not in a good place either, I think.
What's Hela on?
No, 5 of 7. That's not
5 of
great.
7. Hela, you are unstable.
I
You fight your way through after freeing Quake, right? You put out your hand, you drag Quake up, and then that's when we see the red stain coming down the side of your flight suit, right?
Yeah, and that's when I make my "it wasn't as bad as it looked" move.
Nice.
And hope it worked this time, because
You can't call for help with it. It wasn't as bad as it looked, just so you know.
yeah, I rolled a 4, so it's worse.
It was worse than it looked. I mean, your wounds were already unstable. I could inflict a harm move on you. You know what? I am going to inflict a harm move on you. And I think the harm move I'm going to inflict on you is that your armor was destroyed by this as well. Because as you go like, but that's where and you realize that grenade blast just, the only reason you even survived that was because it got shredded. Like the hardened plates are now completely blown away. But you are still unstable. And I probably assume our resident medic is going to do something about that.
Quake, Ellen,
But right now in the middle. Yeah, okay, keep the zombies on my back then.
We need to get out of here, Seren is saying. Come on,
Okay.
you have a ship. You can take us back.
I'll do my best to hold them off while we stabilize.
I will give her a quick stim and patch some Bacta on it, and then we off. Right?
Okay.
Because
you're bugging out. Yeah, chat is
we're bugging out. We have the moth. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Chat was echoing. I thought Rich and Chat were
okay.
both saying exactly the same thing at the same time for a second.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I shouldn't have disrupted you. Well, I should have left that in the chat. But anyways, so yeah, Quake is saying, let's get the hell out of here, right? Does anyone else?
That's what we came for.
Anybody else disagree?
His tent's inside. There's more. There's all the cultural artifacts.
Yeah, you want to fight? You want to take down the zombies? Right now, we have 2 badly injured, and I'm doing this while I'm treating Hela. We have 2 badly injured people.
Oh no, I'm fine.
You're not.
Get the stuff.
You're not fine, Hela. Stop lying.
Okay, we'll get out of here.
Oh, more chat. Double chat.
Which was the real chat? That's the question.
I think the one that's moving.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, I don't know where the other one is.
Yeah, creepy. Inside the house.
Ghost.
Yeah. Anyways, so pulling out, Quake is. Are you actually going to use your medic move on Hela to get her stabilized as you move out, or do you want to just fictionally? We will just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to move it eventually, so
Mhm.
use it eventually. So I guess I'll just do it now.
Oh, well, no wonder you have to leave.
Oh, wow.
Can
That
you make
is
it
not
worse?
great. Yeah, I know.
You cause one
Just
extra
that
harm.
is a,
Call for some
I
help. Can you
know.
call for hey, Abe?
yeah. Can somebody help, please? Maybe Hella can help. She knows medicine and she's done that before, right? And she says she's fine. So
Oh, no, not there. That's not it. It's over here. And she like pulls her jacket aside, and there's a worse wound over there.
oh wow,
Oh,
you're so fine. But let's see how that help goes.
you found out where one of those armored plates went, Heather.
Yeah.
Ow. Ow.
So what am I rolling with?
I would say plus sharp.
Cool. 9.
Yeah.
9. Cool. 7 to 9. And you're going to choose stabilized, I imagine, right? Stabilizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stabilize it. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I do that move, I always think, well, if you heal 2 harm, it takes you out of the unstabilized thing. But I think I'd probably rule it as you're still unstabilized if you heal the 2 harm. It's just you can carry on for longer, kind of thing. But anyways, so much of this game is just how you interpret it. Anyways, Hella's stabilized. You can limp out of the jungle. Saran will guide you, fearfully looking over his shoulder. And he's gonna say, well, we never went to Daras Nor anyways, but we're definitely not going back there. I just wanted some creds, You promised me the stars. And star wipe, I think, back to the settlement, where the professor, when you come back, the camera is on the professors, like fiddling with the cockpit door, like blast it, you damn, you rusted, you bucket of bolts. They're not coming back. Your owners are dead. Let me in. And then that's when you hear the fuss from outside, the cheers from the villagers as Saran comes back in, and these walking wounded comes in, dragging up the stumbling Moff Arkham behind. Now, of course, the villagers thank you. Saran is really grateful, but you guys have got this bounty in stow and everything. He's in the ship, but if you recall, the professor can speak to Blocks on the ride back, perhaps as Blocks is hanging in the maintenance bay or whatever, right? And Hella's book.
Yeah, trussed up with exposed wires, an arm that's a different color getting attached back on.
Ooh. Tags. Before we do that, as you're leaving, you see the glint of something dark and metal in the bushes.
Oh, well, I'll go check it out.
Mm-hmm. There's a hilt of something embedded in the mud.
Neat. Well, I'll go grasp the edge of it, tug it free. What is it?
It looks like a broken lightsaber.
Ooh. Did Tag? I don't think Tag saw
Any of this. No.
any of the. So I don't
No.
think this clicks at all with her. Just stuff it in her pack. Wipe it off a little bit, stuff it in her pack.
Nice. Sweet. Okay. But I think my question is, you don't need to spend a box on a drive, but I'd like to provide the fictional positioning for it here. Quake, you know that Pandit Morg came to this planet a long time ago, before
Yeah, I know.
he rose in the Black Sun things. So Do you ask anyone here around? Do you want to do anything while you're here about it? Or do you
Right,
want-
that's a good point. I think I might just, while we're getting while Hila and Box is trying to get some stuff, some parts maybe for Box. And yeah, I could ask somebody. I feel I will kind of try if Tags wants to come along, because talking to people stuff,
Oh,
you know.
this isn't a role. This is just the fruits of
Yeah,
your
but
labor.
still, yeah, right.
yeah.
But I still would ask her to come along, because
Of course, I
You
love
know?
speaking for the big guy.
And
I mean,
Sorella, the elder woman, she's older, she's been around,
Mhm.
and she says,
Mhm.
Well, what do you ask? Do you ask generally
Yeah,
about
well,
Pandit Morg,
Black-
Trandoshan, UK? Black Trandoshan.
Black Trandoshan did. I'm pretty sure he went to the ruins.
Well, Trandoshan, Black Trandoshan, no, but there was a Trandoshan who came many, many years ago. The last time there was fighting here. He was with, they looked like your armor. Republic soldiers, yes? It's been so long.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
was with a Jedi. He was only a youngling. Well, he was barely not a youngling. He was wearing their robes, and I think he was their student. What did they call it? A powwow?
Padawan.
Padawan, yes. He was the only one who came back. They went into the jungles, and none of them came back apart from him.
And I look at Tags and say, "Wow, that's bad."
Not good. Not good. Why do you
No.
always have to make the toughest enemies?
I have no idea. I don't know.
You need to take off some younglings, or a pit droid.
I've pit, yeah, but the problem is, if I take off a pit droid, it will snark at me and I'll snark back, and that's that.
Okay, is that a good point to end on the planet, right? With this foreboding thing, as you joke about heading back to the ship, and now Blocks. Is there anything you would like to ask? Well, the professor. I think with the professor,
Yeah.
what would you? I'm going to phrase this one in a different way. I'm going to ask you, what does Professor Alu Dionatamp, tenured at Chandrila University, experts in what would it be, astroarchaeology?
Yeah, I think that
he may know something more about what Professor Dim was working on. He may know.
I think that he probably he knows he doesn't know exactly what the professor was working on, but he knows who was funding her research.
Yeah, he knows who was funding their research, and now the question is, was it Black Sun or was it the Empire?
Ooh, what's spicier? I mean, I think Black Sun is probably the spiciest.
Black Sun, nice. Yeah, Black Sun was funding. Cool, amazing. Got my notes.
Into weaponized force technology from the ancient infinite empire? What?
Yes, yes. Well, I mean, let's not get too meta for it, but yes. But yeah, definitely very mysterious. Like she had, it was awful business. When she disappeared, well, what came out afterwards when we found out who was doing the funding, it was a shell company, and they say it was Black Sun that was providing the money.
Black Sun is not an organization to be trifled with. I wouldn't think that Professor Dim would want to be involved with such nefarious things. She was interested in historical research.
Well, certainly I would never associate with such nefarious people, he says very pompously, as from the background you hear Moff Arkham, the guy who he associated with previously, lets out a from the back room. And, back in to Latero, who accepts your bounty. And with a wry smile, he says, "Oh, you younglings look like you did some, you got some hairs on your chest this run. That's alive. Well, 8 bounty paid into your account.
As alive as can be managed.
Good enough for the guild."
I didn't say he had to have all his hands.
Hey. And he raises up his 2 robotic hands. There's a 4-rounder sentient who's
That's
got
true.
2 robotic arms replaced, basically. And he says, "Hey, I know the feeling. It didn't do me any harm. So you guys have 8 creds now. Biggest bounty you could possibly have.
So much bounty.
It is attached to the fact that if you try and take him alive, you're probably going to end up screwed over in a big way. But I may revise that one slightly lower in the future. So big buku books on the station. Let's go around in reverse character keeper order and sort out healing. Everyone can heal 1 for free. So if you want to just do that now. Tags.
I'm 1 XP away from an advance, so I will blow a cred on training.
Mm-hmm.
I think let me look at the moves.
Oh,
and then
wait,
I'll
shit.
Oh,
Sorry,
yes,
sorry,
yes.
my bad. We need to do the ship first, don't we? It should make
Yes.
sense to do the ship first. So does everyone want to chuck, take a cred off, and I'll expand the pool into 5 creds so we can pay
Yes.
off the upkeep? Yeah, so if you all remove 1 cred for the ship, it's currently 5. I'll get rid of your upkeep. Nothing breaks down. You've still got 1 left in the pool. And now let's do tags. Sorry, I just wanted to get that out of the way before.
No, it's a good call. That's a really good, like, always do that first so it doesn't fall by the wayside. So I think I'm gonna spend 1 cred for training and ask if Quake Minds patching me up with this last harm, because it just seems like a lot to pay for just 1 harm. Maybe I'll just not even worry about it. I could just leave. But she probably mentioned it.
I'll
that,
try to
right
take care
here,
of tax. Yeah, that should be taken care of. Let me check this real quick. From the ship again, and well, you're stabilized and you heal 2 harm, and also you have a very nice scar. You have the scar that you want, basically. If you don't want a scar, you won't have one.
I got
if
a
you
scar.
have one.
It's good for stories. I'm going to tell them about the time I stole a speeder truck and flew about 150 feet.
Nice.
I'd want to mention the zombies in that story, just to make it more dramatic.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
And so that's healing and XP. We'll come back around again for drive or for purchases or anything like that.
Yeah, she's definitely doing that.
And then move on to Andush. Or if you're eating, I could switch over to the next person. Yes, let's do that. So Chet.
Blocks is pretty worse for wear after this job. Even though Hello was able to patch him up, on the bounty, the facilities were not as extensive as they need to be. So he's going to go into the repair shop.
Merv is there, and like that bolt cigar that he has in his mouth.
Right. Glowing on the
like,
end.
He just like drops it on the ground as you come in, and he lets out like a woo, like a digital whistle. You know, if you come in. And yeah,
Blocks still is sort of like a little janky in his movements, and lurches and puts two hands on the counter, and slaps the Creds down, says, "I don't want to talk about it." So spending 2 Creds to get totally patched up.
Yes, that is how I finish with that one, isn't it? Yeah, spend 2 Creds to heal completely. Yeah. And do you want to spend any on XP just while we're on that?
Yeah, I think so. I need to take a look at the.
We can come back around again. There's no real rush to it. You know, you can choose whether to spend the XP, the Creds and XP when you've got an upgrade you want to take, kind of thing.
Well,
you know?
he's thinking about it while he's relaxing in the oil bath.
One thing I need to bring to your attention as we come back around again is remember that your bulwark is damaged. That doesn't heal up again.
Yeah.
That's a piece of kit. So we'll come back around to you for spending on, so factor that into your, you know. I'll put it as a pitch out there. I'm going to say 2 Creds to repair your robotic armor, basically. Just because 2 Creds would be to buy the shittiest armor in the first place, I think I said, which for you, it's part of your skin, so it's different. Anyways, Quake. Sabine, sorry.
That's fine. I don't have to heal anything because, armor took care of everything. I have to polish my armor, but that's that.
Your armor definitely needs a clean.
Yeah, definitely. It needs a new paint job anyway. We're not going to General Planet again, and I paint my armor as a matter of course. So yeah. So I think I'll spend 2 Creds for the XP just because I guess I can, and have a lot of Creds lying around. I mean, I have some ideas what I want to do with the extra Creds I have, but spending them for XP seems natural. Yeah.
Okay. Then let's just do, because I feel like I want to get like buying, like see if you want to buy gear and stuff like that out of the way. And then we can go on to, would you do anything with drives? Do you investigate new bounties, that kind of thing? Set it up for next session. So Tags, is there any gear that you would like to take? Buy, purchase, upgrade?
Yeah.
For the ship, for yourself, for your speeders? Because we need to define your speeder bike, right?
Yeah, we do.
And
we need to define the speeder bike.
At the moment, your speeder bike is probably like Tags, like light, quick, limited, whatever, like fragile, perhaps. You know what I mean? Like it's not a great speeder bike. Like everything, I want to sort of establish that everything that you get at minimum, unless it says otherwise, is going to be like the rusty, battered version that you find in a scrap shop in Tatooine. And then you spend the Creds to make it bigger.
I was thinking I'd
sense?
just grab the write-up for the speeder bike and the trainee crummy speeder bike, and we can
crummy speeder bike, exactly, yeah. But if you want to increase that, that's just a Cred, I think, to add extra tags to that, depending on the size of the. If you make it like airborne, that'd probably be like that's 3, right? Like.
Oh yeah, of course, that would be a thing she's probably not going to do right away.
Yeah.
I think. I think upgrade to the speeder bike, that'd be cool. I mean, because chicks like speeder bikes, right?
Before you tell me.
Especially high tech chicks. Well, Taxis knows she likes a speeder bike. She's just wondering if. So, what do you think of the speeder bike? So let's say I'm going to add a tag to that. I think. What kind of tags do we have? I should probably look on Monster of the Week to look at the tags.
I mean, crummy, flashy, impressive, fast.
Can I spend cred to remove Crummy? So it's just
Yes,
like,
you can spend this just a speeder bike. Yeah, entirely.
Okay.
Yeah.
cool. Then that is 1 cred. You said 1 cred or 2 cred?
I think it's 2 creds for the whole removal
Okay.
of Crummy, because Crummy is like a kind of a tag that would encompass everything else that was attached to it, right? It's a big tag, I feel.
Yeah.
Like totally. Please feel free, guys, to tell me if you feel I'm being massively unfair, but I'm playing this completely by like fun, you know. Probably when you have no credits, I'll be really generous, and when you have loads of credits, I'll be like, nah, it's cost you shitloads. And then Chet, is there any? Not Chet, sorry, Andush. Finally, Andush. You get to do all of these things at once now.
Yeah.
So HP.
Yeah, I'd probably spend some time in my back to tank.
Nice.
I don't know. Did that heal 3? I think
3 for 3. It's like a free use of the doctors, I think.
Yeah,
I remember to rewrite the move in the workshop. I'll make another note to.
Cool. And the one, so I just have the 1 harm left. I think I'm sure that's not going to be a problem. I'll just stick around. I'm still a bit sore and from the explosion and whatnot. Otherwise, spending my cred, I think I'd like to put some into my drive. That's just 1 for 1, right?
1 for 1 on your drive, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll spend 2 on that.
Okay.
I think this is Hela, because she's planning a retirement sometime down the line. But this is her like making investments, but not like investing in stocks or things like that. She's putting some money into this little venture here and giving someone a loan here and buying this weird artifact here and that sort of thing. She has a diverse portfolio, I guess. It's she's not a financial expert, but
She's hustling. Great.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're hustling. Okay.
But I think she has a good feel for what's a reasonable thing.
I mean, we definitely see you with Steven's Jower, right? Like arguing over the cost of something, and he frustratedly hands over a pile of coins, right? Like, yeah. Nice. Your armor is broken.
Yeah, how much would it take to repair that? Is it 2? As well?
Yeah, I think you started with it, so it's 2. Let's say.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will spend that. I don't want broken armor and injuries. That seems excessive. That's 4. Do I want to spend 3 creds on XP to get an advance? I think I do. Or we'll get some sort of XP anyway, right?
No.
No?
No, you only get, it's all credits or misses. Unless you're the sensitive, in which case you can get it for.
Did you give it to the dark side? No.
Yes, if you give it to the dark side, yeah.
Oh, I think I must have rolled a miss, right?
I think every time you rolled a miss, I asked for aid. Oh, but then you did miss twice, and I asked. Oh, I think that was all Quake who missed twice.
Yeah. And I rolled badly when I supposed to aid someone.
I'm gonna say.
Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna say you either must have done it or it didn't. Or you aided it. I'm not gonna be as generous as to say like just mark 1 for anyways. You know, sadly, I apologize, Andush. You
know, this is why we should write things for the rolls. Then I could check. But no.
or you could mark it when you miss. That's the alternative. Yeah.
I think I spent 3 creds on XP so I can take it back.
Nice.
And I think I would. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's all the mechanical stuff.
Cool. Well, you've marked your drive, which is the thing I'll ask other people. But I feel as though, is it fair to say that Hela's drive, it doesn't seem to lend itself to like investigations and confrontations because it is the retiring piece. So I don't want to mess with your retiring. I'm not seeing any obvious complications. You feel free to introduce them. and I'll try and pick them up. But you know what I mean? At the moment, it's Hella's doing a sort of hustle, and she's good at this, and she's putting her money, squirreling her money away. And let's hope that it all works out. Who knows? It might do.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, complications that could arise is that something from one of these investments blows back at her in some way.
So Hella rolled 1 miss this session, and is it immediately followed by a roll from you, Rich?
It was on the. It's not as bad as it seemed, and
Then
I
that
see
is an
Quake-
experience. That is an
Yeah,
experience.
right,
Mark an
right.
experience for that then, yeah.
Yeah,
So now
cool.
you've got 1 extra.
Take a cred back.
Yeah, take a cred back, yeah.
Yeah, I only almost died because of my roll. That's an XP.
You learn from that, and what you learned is that you need to date. You need to like get out and find romance. That's
That's
the
actually
experience.
something I was going to do, but I wanted to wait until we had done all the mechanical things.
Oh, we can do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
cool.
So
I think,
blocks.
yeah, sorry.
No, oh, come back. I'll just get rid of it. We'll just move on for the thing, and we'll come back around to you for the thing. Yeah. So blocks. You have bought your armor back. You've healed yourself up. You're gonna.
Well, I haven't
mark up any-
bought the armor back yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. The hinging question is, on our way out of the Imperial encampment, did we swing back and Blocks, while trudging forward, reached down with his one arm and grabbed his trench coat and hat and blaster? That's the clutch question.
Oh, for sure. You didn't grab your arm.
Well, I was treating Hella. You could have done that, right?
Wait just 1 second, and
No, you know what?
triggers.
Even better, it was the kid, right? The kid goes, "I found this."
Good looking out, kid.
Nice,
Nestles the hat back on his head.
nice. Yeah, I wouldn't have made you spend the credit for it.
So while Blocks is in the shop, he's there's a scene of like bolting on, riveting on the armor back on, and I think he's gonna spend 3 creds. So he's gonna do 2 for the armor and then spend 3 more creds to push him up to an upgrade. And he calls over to Merv, "One more thing." And I think he has them install a wireless transceiver unit that gives him the droid move remote control.
Nice. I always imagine this as like either like a detachable, like little tiny drone unit thing, or you can detach your hand and like cousin it around kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, this is not the
remote control. You're on remote. Sorry,
remote control,
yes.
not the detachable.
Yes, you're on the So
parts.
you've got an interface. Yeah. So you're going to be like, you've got a little thing like R2D2. You know, you can extend it and then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The end of his finger pops up.
I love that thing in Star Wars so much. The little R2D2 poking his thing into the stuff. It's great. Okay, perfect.
Now he can connect in and remotely control control objects, the technology stuff.
Yeah, things like ATRTs, for example, stuff like that.
Yeah, indeed.
Quake. Marking any drive or buying any more gear?
I will mark a point of drive. Yeah, sure. And I would wonder how much does a photon torpedo for a ship cost? Because I used the last one, I liked it, and
Let me look in the book, in the full rules. Just because because I did set some ideas for how much it might cost to like buy upgrades for the ship.
Otherwise, I might just throw some money at the ship because it's the ship we're using. Seems like an interesting way to spend your money.
Yeah. Spending creds. There we go. Ship upgrades. A ship repair is anything between 1 to 3. A ship upgrade is anywhere between 4 and 6, and a remove flaw is anywhere between 2 and 5. I think that proton torpedoes would be a 4. Photon torpedoes would be a 4.
Okay, so I think I'll throw 3 at the ship. That
I'll throw the
takes
last one to get
Well, there's
there.
already one in the pool.
Okay.
one in
Do you
the
want to
pool,
throw
but-
2 and I'll throw 1 and we use the
Yeah,
one from the
okay,
pool?
we'll do that. Sure.
That's
thing.
exactly what I hoped people would do. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
Quake, me and you were a great team.
yeah,
So good.
we are. We are.
So you guys take care of your own one, and I will just drop the pool down to 0 now. And you
Okay.
can add photon torpedoes to the proton torpedo. Oh no, it's just a refill of proton torpedoes, isn't it? I apologize. Then you don't need to do that. It would cost you. Let's just say. Let's say 2, because that's repair essentially.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
true.
I'd forgotten that that was an existing upgrade, and Sabine has frozen rather than just be massively confused by what I'm saying. Okay, there we go.
I'm adding my cred back.
Yeah, and Sabine can take a cred back as well when she.
I
returns.
imagine that the reloading of munitions was while Blocks was still trussed up on the bounty, and Blocks was like, I can assist. Please let me assist.
Oh, you are
No
like
possible way he can.
a lifter droid. I'll be like, you can give me directions on how to move this. I'll rely on your expertise.
I always imagine more tags is like, no, I got this.
I mean, if Hello were around, probably.
Oh, nice. We lost Sabine. Well, I guess because I think Sabine will want to see whatever Anders romance scene
Well,
is. So I
here,
don't want to
I've
jump
got
to
a question
Anders
that
one
could
for
take up
now.
a
Yeah.
minute while Sabine's
Yeah,
coming back. I am torn. There is a move from another playbook that interests me, which is from the sensitive, which is search your feelings, because that could be a really fun. Oh gosh, I hope Sabine's computer comes back up. So search your feelings, which feels like the first, like reaching out of the force and the lightsaber and that kind of stuff could be fun. But keying off of the story where Gorgo, the Hutt, dadgum, what is his name?
Jorgo. Which I realize we've both named a Hutt Jorgo completely without knowledge, because he didn't appear in a game I played in, and I didn't see him in your character keeper. But I was looking through one of your NPCs and places things, and the Jorgo the Hutt in there from another game. So we've got. So, I mean, in my head, that's the same Jorgo the Hutt. He's been around.
Jorgo's been around.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of scoundrel moves that could totally tie into that. The first one being Maid. So maybe she does some little thing on the sly, and now is made within the Hutt cartel, which helps her to get her club on this station. Or she just makes a deal with Jorgo the Hutt, and deal with the Hutts is the move that I take, which could be terrible. And
Could be
awesome.
terrible. Could be very terrible. It's up to you. I think either way, I know it's part of the XP and everything. I feel like it would really add the fictional positioning if you bought a drive during this thing.
Right.
Well.
I was going to do both, but I wanted to, like, I think that move gives the fictional positioning for the drive to totally make sense.
Yeah. But I was just saying, I suppose all I was really saying was that, like, I think it would be really nice and neat and all tied up if you did both of this, which is what you're already
and
thinking.
I've got enough creds. Yeah, we're on the same page. I guess the one thing that I'm fighting with is, I'm again trying to buy time for Sabine to come back.
No, I know. Yeah.
The thing that I'm fighting myself with is Maid. I mean, usually, at least in the fiction that you and I have probably seen, the media we've seen, getting Maid means you got to go out and murder some bloke. And I'm not super sure that's a thing tags would readily do to get a club. It makes her seem really petty. So that's the one thing that makes me nervous.
Could she? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. Check.
I was going to suggest, could she fake killing someone, make it appear as if she did?
That's a pretty scoundrel thing to do. That's not a bad suggestion. The other option is if it was somebody Black Sun, after hearing that Hela got scarred up by Black Sun and that Blox' master is, then taking down somebody in Black Sun will be a thing that Tags could be hopped up to do.
I think it would be as simple as your maid, as long as you've promised to cut in the Hook Cartel on your business.
Cool. Because I think, like me personally, me mechanical wise, maid is more interesting than deal with the huts. Well, deal with the huts, that the badness of deal with the huts could also come from the retirement role, really.
Yeah.
But maid actually gives you some benefits that are really interesting with the whole Black Sun stuff going on.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm gonna go with maid. She agrees she'll come back to Jorgo the Hutt and just kind of okay, well I'll cut you in, but
yeah, now Tags is what I made for the ship. But yeah, Jorgo
yeah, I
is
bought a maid for the ship, a
yeah.
maid droid. Yes.
Jorgo is like, pleasure doing business with you. And a big slimy smile. And you're made, I think that fictionally, that means that whatever that your deal with the Hutts is, that has to come into play no matter what your result on your retirement drive is, unless that changes in between, right? Like if a big success on that involves something dealing with the Hutt cartel rather than just being like, oh, I walk away free and have the dream of my life kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah, it's totally, she's made a bad deal here.
Yeah.
She's a scoundrel, so it kind
Cool.
of feels right.
I only
I'm
say that 'cause
spending
it's going
2
to be
cred on the drive because it just feels like such a great thrust to
oh
Lords.
yeah, well yeah,
Great.
you've invested in the Hook cartel, and now the Hook cartel is going to invest in you. So Anders, what would you like to do? Oh no, we were with Quake. I have to remember just quickly, Sabine, you can return one of the credits that you spent, because when you froze up I was saying I'd forgotten that proton torpedoes were was a repair rather than an upgrade. So it was only 2 credits, so you can recover another credit as well. And you just
Damn
spent
it, I have so many credits now.
yes.
Well, I will put 2 of them into the ship anyway. It's just so we have a bit of a cushion, right?
It's good to have, because you never know what might happen to you on a job, right? And then you might need credits
Right.
to spend locally on
Yeah.
things. And if it's in the ship's pool, everyone can use it.
Yeah, despite what everybody thinks, I am a cautious person. Just that my definition of caution might seem odd to some people, but you know,
It's the kind of caution that sees you in the belly of a Creds dragon. Yes.
it's the kind. Yeah, well, it worked, right?
It worked.
Canary with results, and I will get back more grenades because they worked pretty well last time. So
Okay.
that's my money spent, and I will do an upgrade for my XP. And what I will do is there is one thing that says here, no, that's the wrong one. Add a new resource tag for your guild house or change the red tape tag, and I will use that, and I will give them the tag of, let's say, recognized authority, so that say that the Unbound are known, they are a known factor in the galaxy, and if you say, hey, I'm with them, that maybe may pull some weight actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's going to be limited by the nature of them being essentially a group of freebooting mercenaries, right? So but I will factor it into where possible, the Unbound may have like the contract to provide security for somewhere, or it may be a case of like, don't fuck with the Unbound or whatever, right? But like for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Don't fuck with the Unbound. Seems like they have a reputation, right?
Yeah. Cool. Great. And so sorry, I had to do something when she came back, or I would forget because we were just at the end of it. So Anders, frame the scene for me, please.
Yeah. First, there's just a short clip of Hela in the Bacta tank, and she's having flashbacks and nightmares about her time with Black Sun, partly because of this quite harrowing experience, and Tags brought up her star and her past, and that sort of thing. So now I spent my XP on the dark past advance or ability. Move is what it's called. So she it's more fresh in her mind. Things she'd kind of repressed before is as well done. But
Nice.
then when she's recovered a bit more, she's going. I think she's going to invite Tags out for for drinks or something. Just Tags. Nothing against the others, but neither Quake nor Blocks are like fun. They're reliable. They're good people to work with, but it's not who you want to spend the night on the town with. Yeah.
So where are you going for the drinks on the rock?
Yeah, I'm not sure. What are the options?
Well, there's a there's a gambling den that has fine entertainment and the best almost strangely exotic booze and finery there. Rumors are it's connected, and I think Hella being Hella knows that she knows exactly what she's walking into there.
Yeah.
Or there's probably like a basic like canteen or whatever, or there is you and whatever bottle you've managed to buy or whatever anywhere on the station. I would say those are like, or anywhere you want to make up as well, of course, feel free.
Yeah, I think she wants to go somewhere fancy. They had a big payday and she wants to enjoy that.
I will say the one thing that this station is really lacking is maybe like a nice luxurious dance hall, like lounge kind of place.
Yeah. I wonder if someone could do something about that.
So yeah,
It's so true.
is that maybe
Yeah,
the conversation that we cut to in the casino, right? Tags is telling you about the dreams of the place to come.
Yeah, and Hella and Tags have some shared history. We started with the same bounty hunter, right?
Yes, with Keltrazic.
Yeah.
A bounty hunter turned New Republic soldier.
Yeah. Tags really likes him. He's pretty great.
Yeah, so I think Hela invites Tags or asks Tags for a good place to go, and they end up at the casino if that's some place that Tags would
Yeah, Tags would definitely. She feels a lot more comfortable with the casino. I've recently made some deals to smooth things over. Jorgo and I we're in a good place right now.
Oh, okay. Sure. I mean, my experience is to stay away from the syndicates, but I'm sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm a Twi'lek. We have to deal with Hutts all the time. It's second nature.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll be okay.
I was thinking about your trouble with the Black Sun, and the Hutt cartel really doesn't get along with those guys. Enemy of my enemy's a friend,
Yeah, but I think I prefer to stay out of it, not get on the radar again.
Well, the kind of work we do, I don't know how long we can stay off their radar. Especially, you heard about Blox's master getting mixed up with them. Blox is heading straight into it, so we'll probably get pulled along with him.
Yeah, we'll deal with that when it happens. I'm not that worried.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I kept talking. Work. Do you want to dance?
Oh yeah, sure.
And Tags is actually a real good dancer. She will happily cut a rug with Hella.
I think Hella is more energetic than skilled, but she enjoys dancing, so that's a good time.
Do you imagine Hella's like friend dancing? Like there's this separation between them, or if Tags is more like touches her arm or shoulder, moves in a little bit with a particular slower song. How does she seem open to it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she's not going to push her away. I don't think she'll initiate anything, but she's not going to. She's not going to. Yeah, she's not going to resist, I guess, would be the.
Cool. And Tags doesn't come on super strong. It's more playful.
Well, perhaps, we see all this, the dancing and everything, right? And you're on like a sort of crowded thing, and you've sort of like Tags has subtly managed to get Hella like standing up on like one of the little pedestal kind of things on the side, right? For dancing
nice.
room. And you're dancing, and it's you can really, and then like that's when the spotlight pans over, and like that the stinger with the long like mouth and stuff.
Oh
right?
yeah, side snoodles or something like yeah.
And it goes like, wow, check out this, like the power couple, the dance moves from, the deadly dance moves of the bounty hunters from the bright beauty. Woo, let's hear it, and like everyone's cheering and everything is like the party carries on around you. And you've got a brief like embarrassment of everybody looking, right? And of course,
Tag soaks that up, like she's super into it. But how does Hella react? Is she a little embarrassed to have all those eyes on her?
No, I think she laughs it off and like makes some silly moves for everyone, and just
everyone starts copying your dance moves, and that's where we'll cut off, right? But as we cut off, of course, is Tags and Hella. You both notice this in different ways, right? Is that you just see over at the bar, Joggo the Hutt sat back in a big like recliner, and he just holds up like a, and he just nods at Tags with a big smile, and you see him lean in, and you hear him cancel the bar tab for tonight, not for Tags, And both of you get to make of that what you will, of course. One of you knows that it's like, oh, favors of a friend. The other one's like, oh shit, she's in with the Hutt cartel.
That's true.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I love that scene. That was great.
That was great.
Sabine, you spent money on your drive as well, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
It was just the one, wasn't it? I think.
It was just the one. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think I will?
Do you think it's fair to say that covers kind of what we revealed last in the session already, perhaps? Or do you want to ask more questions?
I want to figure out who this uncle character is, because we went there and things went oddly not great. So there was a trap set, basically. And this uncle character was after Blocks, though. So I wonder, I want to have a scene with Blocks anyway, where we could talk about that as well.
Go for it.
And then figure out. But what I really want to do is what I really want to talk about when you come in with your new armor and your new chassis and everything quite spiffy, and Quick will look at you like he's got something on his mind, and he will say, hey, Blocks, I don't know if you're up to amenable to this, but if you want a paint job, maybe something more interesting than just chrome.
Blocks. So while Blocks was in that stuck in that trash heap for who knows how long, the one thing that he did have in his memory banks was like some old hollows of like detective stories and like sort of Indiana Jones sort of stuff, noir movies, noir hollows, and I think that I look up from the stuff that I'm working on at the on the bounty and say, yeah, I'd like that very much. Something to bring a little bit of character to these old bones. What does that mean? Nobody knows.
I think Wick will figure something out. He's actually rather good at painting things, so I guess I leave it up to you to describe what that actually looks like. But I think it's maybe some shading and stuff that makes you look more like a black and white character person thingy.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of like, maybe a little bit of like, looks like stubble on his head there. And I think while you're doing this, applying this electroplating coloring, says you have something of a bad history with droids, yes?
Well, Clone Wars, I used the droid army, and I saw a lot of my brothers die. I'm not like, I don't hate droids. I know it's not their fault anyway, but there's this gut thing, right? Where I'm like, oh, droid, I have to shoot it. No, wait, no, I don't. So, but I don't feel like that about you.
Well, considering that, I do appreciate your assistance when I was nearly taken out of commission back there.
Hey, you're on my team.
Sometimes I don't know when to stop, when I think that my armor will protect me from anything that I encounter, but clearly that is not the case.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I've been there, done that. Survived it, so did you.
Survived it and become stronger for it.
Yeah. I mean, look, your new armor plating looks good.
Yes, as quickly as the creds roll in, they seem to roll out just as fast.
Yeah, well, that's life, isn't it? I wonder though, Fox, do you have any idea what this uncle character wanted with you? Because when we showed up at this asteroid for the information, they were like, yes, and I'm looking for this droid, and it was clear that he was looking for you.
Of all the droids in the universe, of all the droids in the galaxy, Uncle's come knocking on my door. Well, the one thing that I can speculate is that I have been pursuing some ins into the fate of my old professor. It appears that perhaps she was involved with Black Sun, although she did not know as much. Perhaps this uncle character is also involved in Black Sun.
Yeah, I guess he would have. I mean, Planet Morg, the guy I'm not too happy about, is Black Sun. And Hela was in with Black Sun, and in a bad way with Black Sun as well. So I think we might take a closer look at what they're doing. And I want to know who this uncle character is, really.
Just to remind people, the uncle came back on a miss from tags using her friends on the Force in the New Republic, just to frame the context.
Right. I know. Well, I say I might have to talk to Tags about it, because I got to ask Uncle a question because of one of her connections. Maybe she can help figure unsnarl this nest of whatever this is.
Nice. So I feel as though, I was wondering, has Block shared does he share everything that he finds out about his professor? Like, with the group?
Yeah, I think of course his in his mind, Professor Dim is essentially above reproach.
Nice. Okay.
Of course, she wasn't involved in anything nefarious. Black Sun was clearly not, like, she did not know that Black Sun was involved.
Mm-hmm. But
It was.
They know that you're this cockamamie idea of some hokey old superstition about rat-attacking empires or ancient force weapons or whatever, right? Like, yeah. Okay. Just to make sure that all the other PCs are aware of the semi-mystical quest that your professor was on when they went disappearing. Yeah.
I think
Yes,
Quick is
it's all archaeological research.
Quick is totally willing into buying that your owner was above reproach, because I mean, female researchers, that seems, he has a thing for that actually, and then will believe that she is above reproach because that was what his master was like, and that she was that Jedi is on the pedestal is kind of like Sun High.
You guys have issues.
I think probably Blocks is caught in reminiscing about some story of his professor and him.
Yeah. That's where we'll
going
fade
through
out
some
to,
ruins and uncovering some relics, and
as Quake and you exchange, that's what you bond over, right? Is the old scholar Jedi that Quake knew, and I love that.
Yeah, mommy issues basically.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think we've done all of the round table of drives, XP, downtime, everything that I can think of to do, right?
I think I'm going to do just a wee bit more training. Sorry, just
no, you feel free.
4 and it's burning a hole in my pocket, so I think
Could
I'm doing
always donate it to the ship.
Oh, I could, but I could also give myself 2 XP, which is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's true. Just a reminder of the way the ships work is if you bought extra things, you could use them to ask questions in different ways, like special sensors or stuff like that, or whatever, right? But just to keep it in your mind for things that you could spend money on once you've got money. But in any case,
I'll throw one to this ship pool, and I'm down to 1 cred left.
Okay. Ship pool is now at 3. Nice.
I'll toss in one as well. I have 2, so I can spare one for the ship.
Okay. So now it's 4. I'll let Rich carry on fiddling with the spreadsheet. And yes. So next, bounty. If we look at the bounty board, we have Moff Arkham has been taken alive, which is a thing I didn't think would ever happen. And I'm glad it did. It was pretty funny how it's worked out. And you get 8 bounty, and it was actually it wasn't as game breaking as I thought for you to get 8 bounty, to be honest.
No, actually, it was really cool.
Yeah, I just thought I was like, oh shit.
I could tell.
Yeah.
Hard won. It was hard won.
Yeah, it was hard won. Yeah, entirely. Yeah. So you have Tariq Maylar, wanted by the Hook Cartel, dead or alive. Well, he's wanted by the Hook Cartel and the New Republic. He's wanted by the Hook Cartel dead, and they'll pay you more than that for sending a message. And he's wanted by the New Republic alive for questioning. Essentially, he is currently in the corporate sector on a gambling ship. That's going to be tricky because you don't have authority to work as bounty hunters on that ship. Then you have Lishbeck Fenn, an Imperial war criminal, a double agent who got many Bothan spies killed. And she is rumored to be connected to a mining colony on Droog 8. And then she is wanted 6 dead, 3 alive, but there is a bonus for complete discretion, not raising any kind of, public profile on that.
And who opened that?
It's classified.
Bounty. Classified. Oh, nice.
Mm.
But I think we found out last time, didn't we? Who opened that when we were doing investigations, didn't we?
No, what you found out was that she was the reason. The suspicion is because she's a double agent. You've got many brothel and spice. You can draw your own conclusions about who might want her dead and why they might be trying to keep it secret. Laturo certainly felt like it was an embarrassing little affair for NRI, you know.
Makes sense.
And then you have the new one, Raider. And I did mean to look up a clone like serial number beforehand, so give him his clone designation. So we can pretend that I did that already as I draw up clone fantasy name generator, unless anyone clone names.
I think they are usually CC and then for numbers. CC for clone captain and CT for clone trooper.
Okay, so he's CC CC 1313.
Oh.
Yeah, couldn't resist. Otherwise known as Raider. And he is wanted, you know, I'm going to boost this up to 6 alive after seeing how not game breakingly. And you know what, I'm actually going to put him on 5 dead because why not? So CC 1313 is a clone ARC trooper turned vicious mercenary. And he is wanted for war crimes, terrorism, kidnapping, extortion, you name it. And this is a bounty that the New Republic has on him. And he's believed to be active in Coruscant in the expansion region, which is it's a contested system between the New Republic and Zinj. They're not an open war, but there are areas that they both claim that are former Imperial planets, and Coruscant was rumored to have a rebellion. And this is, of course, the moment before things may change and things, but like this is the intel that you have at the moment. So we're in the last 10 minutes, so I'm going to forgo. We let you do the investigator query and things on this one, on the previous ones, but I'm just going to skip that ahead here, and I'm going to have a quick go around and ask me a quick question about this, any of the jobs that you want to do, right? So let's start off with Rich. Ask me a question about any of the jobs, and it'll be a very quick one.
Do any of the 3 have Black Sun ties? It's just such a heavy part.
No, they don't already, but they will do by the time we run them.
Sweet.
To give you the meta answer.
That's good. That's what I wanted to hear. I'm happy about that.
And then Anders?
I'm not sure I have a good question.
Then we can skip it in, because Rich kind of just gave us a wish there, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
So we can skip if you want to skip, and I'll just ask you as a question. We'll come for wishes and stars.
Yeah.
To you. Yeah. Cool. Sorry to really rushing through the last bit. Chat.
We are not authorized to operate on the Canto Star. What is the penalty for operating, for carrying out a hit? Or
hit.
carrying out a
hit.
Carrying out what if we were to run a bounty job on the Canto Star?
If you were to run just a straight bounty job where you take him back alive, take him to the New Republic, right? There would be very little penalty beyond what might happen to you there, because what it is that you're not licensed to carry your guns. You'll deal with local, law enforcement at the time, but they won't come out after you afterwards, depending on what you do while you're undertaking that, right? If you blow a hole in the side of the ship, then yeah, doesn't matter either way in any place, right? But if you do the hit, obviously that's a bigger difference, because that's a public execution essentially. So yeah,
Got it.
It's mostly that you can't bring your guns and walk around like bounty hunters seem to do everywhere they go. And Sabine.
Yeah, my question would be a bit personal, and I would like to know if Quake has any sort of history with Raider.
You tell me.
Yeah, I don't know. Is this? I'm not sure. That I might want to ruminate on this. If this was someone who came out of the left field right now, or if this is someone Quake was aware. I think it was someone Quake was aware of, but never saw any reason to do anything about that because live and live, right?
I can certainly picture you knowing the reputation of a clone trooper known as Raider,
Yeah.
and his actions that he undertook on separatist planets. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that sounds
Cool. Well, okay, guys. So now I have to ask, and I'm going to do this in the wishes. Actually, we're going to vote on which bounty. So one of your wishes is which bounty do you want to do? Okay. Does that work for people? Okay. So let's go back in that same order. Sabine. Well, you know, back in the normal character keeper order. Sabine, what would you like to do as your bounty? As a bounty?
me as Sabine. I would love to go after the clone. Quake wouldn't be quite as noisy advocating this, so because he has doubts. But as Sabine, I would love to go after the clone, obviously.
Okay, cool. And then Chet.
I think it would also be really interesting to go after the clone.
Okay. Anders.
I mean, I'm not. I like all of them, but I kind of want to see Tags having to confront making an example of someone to aid the Hutt cartel, because I think that would be interesting.
Okay. And then finally, Rich.
Damn, that's a really good point on this. I was leaning towards Raider just because I want to see the ugliness of that relationship. There's got to be flashbacks. But you're right. The Hutt cartel complication is really interesting too. So I say Raider just barely edges it out, just barely. But
Well, I've made a note for the that job is possibly for a future run of Bounty of the Week.
nice.
To build on that a bit more. So Raider wins out on that one. Okay, great guys. Raider will be the next mission. I will prep up a character keeper of all of that, and I will think of ways to tie in Black Sun to all of this, of course. And so, yes, I mean you've immediately hit upon the thing that I came up with first, which was like, how do I get their guns and weapons, their armor off them? What's the situation where it could work? And then I watched Casino and was like, oh, okay, that could work as well. So
yeah, and Star Cruiser would have plenty of ports to plug into.
No,
Nice.
and it's stop making so many good ones, Will.
Yeah,
I blame you.
Thank you. I'll take that. So stars and wishes. Let's start with Rich, and just a couple of quick ones. And anything that if you found anything about like the improvisation of things and stuff, the session, feel free to throw those in as well. You know, like rule changes and stuff.
Oh, that's a good point. Stars. Star to the frenetic two-part action, the fighting zombies, and then the auto cannon going off. That was really, really fun. I could totally see the Star Warsiness of those moments. Also star to Undish for Hella actually asking Tags out. That was cool, and it was character motivated by bringing back the whole Black Sun stuff, and also with Hella and the back to tank. I'm so here for back to tank flashbacks now. It's like a thing that's just super duper cool. Sabine, star to you for, and I'm trying not to take all the stars, but I definitely wanted to throw out star to you for setting up the scene with blocks and Quake, like coming to an understanding was really, really neat. That was a nice heartfelt moment. Wishes, Black Sun has to, like my wishes, Black Sun's gotta be something big here. They're just 3 out of 4 characters are Black Sun related, so certainly needs to be a thing. And that's it. More bounty of the week? Yeah, but that's it.
And then Andish?
Yeah, stars for safety tools, I guess. I think that it was really good that we, again, I would say we as a table could handle that, and it worked out well, I think. Also, a star to everyone involved for the fight with the possessed moth. I really enjoyed all the twists and turns there, where things being thrown and thrown back, and all the arms getting cut off, and the whole thing. I really enjoyed that. Wishes, yeah, more, and also, yeah, really. And now I'm really looking forward to see how Quake deals with this rogue trooper, I guess.
Rogue Trooper.
Yeah.
Do you know Rogue Trooper?
Yeah. Actually, I do.
Oh, yeah. Man, I love Rogue Trooper. Damn it, now I'm thinking of other things. Anyways, Chet.
Star most recently to Rich and Anders for the dancing scene. That was perfect. Like I was like imagining like so much, like everything on the dance floor like was in darkness except for we could just see them. It was like so much focus. It was so good. Yeah, and also I'll also echo Anders. Star to particularly Will and Sabine, but everybody at the table for utilizing safety tools. That was awesome. And we made an awesome story because of safety tools. And yeah, and also particular star to Will for the scene cuts, or like the focus shifting. I was like very it was quick cuts when it needed to be quick cuts, I think is a way of putting it. Like back between the different pieces of action going on. I think it was very good. Wishes, Black Sun, where is this going? I mean, I don't think that everything is going to be resolved. I know everything's not going to be resolved next time, but like the idea with Pandit Morg being force sensitive, there's force weapon research being funded by Black Sun. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah.
Cool. And finally, Sabine.
Yeah, stars to all of you. Big star to the table for the use of safety tools. Thank you all. And separately, I love to again call out the scene on the dance floor with Tags and Hela, but also the whole battlefield when they were trying to lug this mine to that zombie and it going so wrong. I'd like the back and forth there. And the big star, yeah, to blogs for Chad for blogs obsession with noir films. I really like that. I like the hat. And another star goes to that kid, that spunky that spunky kid that stood there with a tire iron, basically facing off the zombies while everybody was like lying around or rushing towards the scene. That was just a great image to have in our head. Wishes for next time, I wish, I would like to maybe recover some big piece of information, I guess, not resolve things because we won't, but to get to some point where we can say, oh, there's that, this is important now. Some kind of something you get at the end of a season, right? Where you look at things and say, oh, we know where this is going now, or we think we know where this is going now. And this leads to my final wish: more bounty of the week. I don't think we're done with this yet, so yeah, more of this, please.
Thanks, guys. My stars, personal stuff, the relation stuff, the rolling with us, just changing rules on the fly. It was all great. The big crazy action scenes and the splitting back and forwards. It was nice to have you all overwhelmed in a space that wasn't just a tiny box. so there was space for you to move around. I'd like to try and keep that when it gets chaotic, and I do think a battlefield is going to offer that, because that was the closest thing to a battlefield I think that we could find previously. I mean, I love so much about it. It was great session. I'm glad that we had the chance to do a long one and then a downtime and everything. One thing I would definitely like to run more Bounty of the Week. I will look at the timetable, maybe a month, a couple of months, however people's calendars line up. I'm basically going to try for a date that works for as many of us as possible, offer you all first dibs, and then open it up if that doesn't work out. You know what I mean? But we'll see in between. In terms of, with that in mind though, I'd like to sort of just say out loud something about in terms of the drive. Like, I don't want to take off rolling your retirement move off the table just because we've got the idea of running a second one. So it perhaps would be like you roll that retirement and it's more like how something significant changes rather than it takes you out of the whole game entirely. You know, it's a big milestone achievement for your character in some way, but it doesn't take you out of the bounty hunting game. Just to put it out there. You don't have to do it, but just so you don't think that it's off the table kind of thing. Otherwise, I already have a great idea for how Blackstone ties into all of this, so I can't wait. Yeah, cool. Do you want to start the recording, Rich?